Hi, this is Real Royal Mail, and I'm Peter.
I would like to show you an interesting item from my collection. This is a letter of historical importance as it marks the beginning of the Second Elizabethan Age. The letter was written in Sandringham, Norfolk in 1952, shortly after the death of King George VI by his daughter Princess Margaret.
It is with the greatest sorrow that we make the following announcement. It was announced from Sandringham at 10:45 today, February the 6th, 1952, that the King, who retired to rest last night in his usual health, passed peacefully away in his sleep earlier this morning.
2 days after the king had died, Princess Margaret wrote to a confidant. But before turning to the handwritten letter inside, let's have a philatelic look at the cover. It was postmarked at Sandringham on Saturday, 8th February 1952 at 5 p.m. The postmark is reading official paid, because no stamps were needed for this letter. It was sent express mail and registered, bearing the labels for it. It's addressed to the Honourable Mrs. John Mulholland, Olivia Mulholland. She was lady-in-waiting of Princess Margaret. In the lower left corner, there's a small hand stamp with the royal monogram of King George VI. This is the certifying stamp used by members of the royal household to show that their mail was free of postage. And a small M is the initial of Margaret. A nice cover, but what is really amazing is the letter inside, written by a mourning daughter to her friend. She's referring to the illness of her father, his lung cancer, and the battle against it during the year 1951. Dearest Olivia, thank you so many times for your angelic letter of sympathy. You have said all the things which one is feeling. It was such a terrible shock, as he really seemed to be getting stronger and better each day. Remembering those anxious days at Balmoral, she never ceased to be thankful that you were there, waiting for the battle to begin. It seems so bitter that he got better only to die. But then one is glad, as he was triumphant and lived to know, I hope, how much he was loved and respected by so many people. You know so well, I know, what a wonderful person he was. No one could have a more loving or thoughtful father, and, with Mummy, he made us the very happiest family ever. We miss him so dreadfully, and one is constantly assailed by sad thoughts that he was too young to die, and he was so much needed, and darling Lilibet so much too young to do all the things she has to do. But then one is computed by the thought that God will help us to bear our sorrow, and that we have all those happy years to look back on and remember with joy all the happiness he made for us. We are so thankful that he died so peacefully here at Sandringham, which he loved best, having enjoyed the day before very much. Once again, dearest Olivia, so many thanks for your understanding sympathy. With much love, Margaret. Indeed, the last day of his life the king spent with his daughter Margaret, as seen on the Netflix TV series The Crown. The last evening they had a private party. Having enjoyed the day before very much in Margaret's letter certainly refers to that. And darling Lilibet, so much too young to do all the things she has to do, refers to the new queen, her sister Elizabeth. Lilibet is her family name. So this letter marks the end of the reign of King George VI and the beginning of the Second Elizabethan Age. And it's highly emotional and very personal, giving an insight to the British royal family of the time. That's why I love it so much and treasure it in my collection. By the way, I have a second personal letter from these days which I would like to show you. It's a sharp contrast to the emotional letter of Princess Margaret. It's from Prince Philip, consort to the new queen and son-in-law of the late king. The day after the king's funeral, the Duke of Edinburgh wrote on Clarence House stationery to his former school's headmaster, thanking him for a letter of sympathy he had received. The Duke uses a quite laconic tone, if not to say a touch of irony. "Everything is in a great whirl at the moment," he writes, "but I'm sure it will settle down again eventually, but it may take some time." So that's another way to deal with this sad event, the way Prince Philip does. And it's documented in this letter, which comes with an envelope sent registered from St. James's Street branch office, which is near Clarence House, where Philip and the new queen still lived in the first month of her reign.
That's it. Thanks for watching, and if you like it, you may follow me on Twitter @RealRoyalMail.